Hey, welcome to Sunday, September the 29th of 2013. Do you know how precious and valuable that life is? When you look at the things that you can't afford, or when you look at the person whose external appearance you will never have, or when you, and first you have to accept, I will never have that person's external appearance. That's an acceptance factor. And you have to accept, I don't really need that which I don't have. You have to accept those two things. And then you need to look up, preferably during the day, and hopefully for you the wind will be blowing and you will feel a giant essence that is much, much more big than my mind or my mouth or your mouth can contemplate. Blow wind against your skin and into your nose via the usage of trees and flowers, and you will see a bright light which gives sight to your eyes, and you will say, this is life. But what I'm going to read to you is an article in your LATimes today, which really, really disheartens me quite much. It's titled Science Now, Dispatches from Front Lines of Science, Medicine, Health, and the Environment. It says, global economic crisis spurred 5,000 additional suicides, study says. That's not something that should ever happen. When you look at the sun and you value life for what it really is and not what you think it should be or what Imogene says it should be or Mary Jane says it should be, life is what the sun says it should be and what the wind says it should be. First and foremost, before any global scale video game might have as its reward at the leprechaun's end of the rainbow. This is by Melissa Handika, and again, she wrote this on September 18th, 2013. This is the global economic crisis that has come to be known as the Great Recession appears to have fueled an increase in suicides, including an estimated 5,000 additional deaths in 2009, a new study says. Although previous research has linked the recession to higher suicide rates in various countries, no studies have tried to measure these effects on a global scale. So researchers at the University of Hong Kong and other institutions examined suicide trends in 54 countries around the world, using data on unemployment, gross domestic product, and suicide deaths from the World Health Organization, the International Monetary Fund, and the United States Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Their analysis, again, the people that did this analysis were those four groups and those 54 countries. Their analysis revealed an association between unemployment and suicide rates, which was especially strong for men in countries that used to have low unemployment. In 2009 alone, 37% of higher unemployment seems to have fueled a 3.3% increase in global suicide rate for men, according to the study published online Tuesday by the journal BMJ. That 3.3% uptick translates into an additional 5,000 deaths. An estimated 2,700 to 3,700 of those additional deaths occurred in 18 countries in the Americas, where the overall suicide rate jumped 6.4% as the unemployment rate rose up to 101%, the study found. And let me restate that one more time so you grasp it properly. It says an estimated 2,700 to 3,700 of those additional deaths occurred in 18 countries in the Americas, where the overall suicide rate jumped 6.4% as the unemployment rate rose up to 101%, the study found. If unemployment is increasing, this is my words, that means that immigration is increasing. That means that there are more people than there are jobs necessary to sustain those people economically, which of course would lead any person of emotional value to say, why am I not being chosen for a job? Relatively, back to the article, relatively few additional suicides were tallied in Asia and Africa. In American countries, the greatest increase in suicides was seen in men between the ages of 45 and 64. In Europe, the biggest increase was in 15 to 24-year-old men. The researchers saw no change in the global suicide rate for women, although there was a slight increase in suicides among women from the Americas. The team found bigger increases in suicide rates in countries that used to have low unemployment. David Gunnell, a public health researcher at the University of Bristol in England, who helped lead the study, said men were probably more inclined than women to commit suicide because they tend to be the breadwinners of their families and therefore felt more pressure in the face of the worst economic collapse since the Great Depression. Men are also more likely to commit suicide in general. This type of observational study can't prove that higher unemployment caused the additional suicides, Gunnell said. However, the results are consistent with earlier research linking unemployment to higher rates of depression, offering strong evidence that the recession was the culprit. The finding serves as a warning that countries should not cut back on mental health services in times of austerity, Gunnell said. The results also identify people who are at risk, which could help public health officials target their intervention efforts. However, the study doesn't provide a complete picture of the recession's effect on mental health, since it included only the 54 countries for which the statistics were available, said Jose Tapia. Again, it's T-A-P-I-A, said Jose Tapia, a public health researcher at the University of Michigan, who wasn't involved in the study. What's more, the study analyzed suicide rates only from 2000 through 2009, so the results may not reflect current trends. This is by no means the final word on the magnitude of the global economic crisis, Gunnell said. Again, that was by Melissa Pandika of LATimes. That's in your LATimes Science section on September 29th, 2013. This is Michael signing out. Have a great day. Bye, sunshine.